And here we are. It's Thursday. We will be thoughting.
We shall.
And my little, what is the name of the cake? She's such a little French cake over here. She's a little pettifort today. Look at her. Throwing off the balance of the color, but that's okay. We'll deal with that. It's worth it because she's edible.
Miriam, I saw that you weren't feeling good, and she said she wasn't going to comment unless she had to.
Okay.
But you will notice that Miriam's hat is what I'm wearing today.
Wonderful. This is P over here.
M over there.
Patricia.
Mariah.
And together
We are PM Artist Studio.
There we go. Alrighty, my Arty friends, do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. Otherwise, I do not know that you're here. We like to know that you're here because we are a super friendly bunch and like to say hello to you directly. Call your name out, say hello. And the only way I know that is if you show up in a live stream and then you say something and then you show up on the list. Or you give me pinky hello hands because you know I love some pinky hello hands. Yellow hello also works. I'm going to make a shirt. Pinky hello hands. Hello, yellow. Okay. Do give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you are unsure, that's totally fine. Just hang out for a minute. See if you like it. Then you click that little subscribe button. It's free. Totally. 100% free. It just helps us. And one day we'll get to 10,000 subscribers. And then we're going to have a big old party. And we're going to give away things. And then you're going to pay for the shipping. But that's okay.
It'll be worth it.
It'll be worth it. All right, we've got Acme, Art Curious, that's Miriam, Barbara, Betsy, Betty, Brad, Charmaine, Cookie Wookie, that's Mo, Dana, Ellen, Emma Powers, hey, it's been a little bit, Estella, Griffin Shield, that's Rhonda, Helen is here, Holly, Hooking in Good Company. I was going to remember, I cannot remember Hooking in Good Company's name. Tell us again in the chat. I know that you told me.
Thank you, Robin.
Yeah. Jackie, Ross, Jennifer, Jocelyn. Somebody else popped in there. I think it might have been Ellen B. or Darlene. Okay. Carla, Kathy, Katra, Lee, Fisher, Lexi, Linda, Lydia, Margie, Mark Hines is here, Maya, Michelle with 2 L's, Patricia, Pfeiffer, Ricky, Robin, Sandy, sorry. Oh, we got the sorries representing today. Sherry, Black Dog Designs, Silver Granny or Grumpy Gnome, that's Lynn, Star Travel, that's Linda, Susanna Silva, hello, and Sherry, that's SWL, Tegan, the Shelly Studio, that's Margot, Trish Coogan, that means Evie popped in at the top, and she sure did, hello to the both of you, and then I think some other people popped in there. I'll check over here for some pinky hello hands.
There is a Michelle with 1 L and an E.
Yeah, there is a Michelle with 1 L. Is she here too?
She waved her hands.
Get the Michelle with 1 L and the Michelle with 2 L. Hello.
Jocelyn's here now.
Yes, I said hello to Jocelyn and
Jackie.
Dory.
Did you get Jackie?
I think I got Jackie.
Brad's here.
Yes, Brad is here. I don't know what's going on.
Hot diggity! It looks like we've got the whole crew.
Okay, you thoughting from here, or do you want a top side or what?
No, I'm gonna. I'm thoughting from here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So one of the things that we talked about that you can really, jumpstart your creativity is to watch things you wouldn't normally watch. So I've been doing a lot of that. I watched a show about geography, learned something about South America and Mexico.
Wonderful.
And, it's just interesting stuff that, my geography sucks anyway. It's horrible. I don't even know where the places in the United States are.
I was going to say, she's just directionally challenged. Traveling with her is a little scary. And if she feels sure about something, just go the other way.
Yeah. Or at least pause and consult your map or your compass.
Talk
compass or, ask somebody. Yeah, definitely. All right. So, So I've been watching things about geography. And then when I was watching things about geography, you know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching things and all of a sudden goats end up. Well, the other thing that ended up was this whole thing about hobos. And there's a whole bunch of videos about hobos. Who knew?
Hoboing.
But the reason I really keyed in on it was because there's a whole list of hobo symbols that were used mostly from the early 30s to the well, right before World War.
Didn't Carmichael?
Carmichael was a hobo. He
Yeah.
did. He rode the
Her
rails.
second husband.
Yes.
When I found that out about him, I was just like, it's so amazing.
Well, he had a lot of experiences that were
He had all kinds of things in life.
And I think that's one of the reasons I was very attracted to him, is because he was
really interesting, dude, and super kind.
And he had such a great sense of humor.
It was a little sick and a little dark, but peppy.
That's right in my vein. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so anyway, I want to talk about that a little bit. The symbols are really cool. So Mariah and I even thought about making a
stamp set.
A stamp set.
Because they're kind of, sort of primitive. Well, you can hold it up if you want, into this camera, because it's kind of big. Yeah. See? Those are kind of cool symbols.
Yeah.
There you go. Hobo symbols. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the fact that they're actually meaningful, I think that's kind of cool too.
Oh, Robin loves the ancient alien. I love watching some of that stuff. I went through a little phase. Like, I don't think there was much on TV that had to do with aliens that I hadn't watched.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm kind
of done with the alien thing. Because I really, I watched the X-Files religiously.
Yeah.
I even watched reruns of the X-Files.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of done with that. Okay, so anyway, another name that just showed up. I don't know how this happens.
Well, it's interesting because what they, that the algorithm it starts to connect things. It's like usually it says, all right, people that are interested in this thing also started. There's the crop, like checked in the boxes, and this thing, and it's the red thread across the board and how it connects to the various people and things. Well,
there you go. Anyway, somehow or other, David Choe showed up. And number one, the thumbnail is what got my attention, because it's just, did you actually put it in the,
I haven't yet, because I didn't want to, I didn't know if we were actually going to talk about him yet, or.
Okay. Well, this was from 1 month ago. Now I will give you a warning right away. If you watch some of his early stuff, it's rather dark and very
colorful language.
The language some of you may find offensive, and he uses it rather liberally. And
his later stuff a little lighter.
Yeah, it's a little. Well, I think he was working through stuff, and you could see it. And that's what it's all about. And he said, what I finally decided in my life that my parents aren't going to be anything other than what they are, so I'm going to have to parent myself. I thought, well, that's bloody marvelous. I mean,
had moments like that.
Mariah still, we have a role reversal here every now and then. She reminds me that I am the mother, and I need to step up. Okay. So here's what I wrote down about the early videos. If you want ones that are like 3 or 4 years ago, I'm just going to say, do
warning.
watch.
Warning.
Read, be involved with something that is not your usual. Maybe twinges, stabs of uncomfortable, uneasy feelings may occur. So, you've been warned. But the title of the video that I watched was Make Art Out of Curiosity, Not Fear.
Let me tell you, absolutely fantastic. I even showed it to Izzy. Now, again, I think he still he drops a couple, choice words here and there.
Fluff bombs.
Yeah. After the other day, y'all know that that's probably something that happens around here. But anyway, Izzy loved it. Loved it. She's like, can I watch more of his? And I said, well, I need to watch him first because, I just wasn't sure, at what level. But I knew she would, because it was so her. It was like, he's like a 7-year-old kid with adult things.
It was
and it was so perfect because she's just like, she thought it was hilarious, and she watched the entire thing. She was impressed. So that in itself, just letting y'all know.
I did too. Yeah. I just couldn't tear my way, because I initially said, I'm going to watch and see what this is, and I'll fast forward, and because that's usually what I do, but I couldn't do it. I had to watch it. And then Mariah and I discovered that, David Choe really is kind of a big deal. Well, he wasn't on our radar.
So if you're here, David, say hey. I did email him. I like letting people know we're talking about him.
And one of the things, the questions, because I think questions are important, and that's that's what I want to teach Izzy. You don't have to always accept what somebody says. You need to question it, especially if you have a little, that little feeling like that. Question
it.
Question it vigorously.
Facts are important, and you should find those facts on your, like, you should be able to access that. I think,
Yes.
That, how does it relate to you? And then does that, you usually have this twinge of, and if you aren't asking yourself things, I don't, that in itself might be
that might be one of those blinkers.
Yeah. Or you were ignoring your red alerts. That,
yes.
Don't turn that off.
So a question he asks right off the bat is, do you ever think about why you want what you want? I don't know. I started thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I started, looking around at the room here and going, why do I want that?
Why am I keeping that?
Why am I keeping that? What is this for? How is this helping me? Why do I really want that?
Right.
What does it do for me?
Mm-hmm.
And I think if the question comes back, it doesn't do anything for me. Well, maybe you ought to think about, like, okay, let's drop kick that through the goalposts of life. Get rid of it. You don't need it if you can't say why you want what you want. Another funny thing it says, there's a lot of posers. He says posers. You need to be a kung poser.
I like his, this is another thing that he did all throughout this video, and I'm sure that he probably does it through some of his others. I've only had a chance to watch the one. I actually started watching the second one, which was really super weird. And I was like, okay, I need more time with that. And I was kind of in between things. So I was like, okay, I need more time with that one. That one was like, there's some strange things going on here.
Yeah, more cerebral than others.
Yes. So it is something you need to kind of sit down and really like have some time with it, because it's worth it. But it's not just something you listen to like in the background or anything. You need to have both visual and audio happening with his
full attention,
his stuff. For sure, because yeah, all right, where was I gonna say with that? I got distracted.
Okay, the poser.
The mixing of, you can tell that like that whole his Korean heritage culture, a lot of it, because he talks like there's little bits and parts that he like throws in there, and so not only is it happening within just like who he is as a person, but even the language. Like that, he's mixing things, and he's being very artistic with his language. I find that fascinating.
I really enjoyed. It was kind of a play.
I also want to know who
in that video is playful to an extent, but there's still that undercurrent. It's playful seriousness.
Yeah,
because
it's deep.
It is. It's a lot. You're seeing a surface thing there, but there is that other level, and isn't the ambiguity that creates. I think that's really important, and it's important to recognize that, and I think it's important to sort of examine this.
Yeah,
David Choe's art is not something that I love or hate. It is what it is. And I think that he's okay with that.
He very much is, and he doesn't need you to define it. And that was one of the things that I think it was in the second video. It wasn't in that first one, where he was like, I feel like I want, he's like, I want your approval, but I don't need it. And then maybe I don't really want it. You could tell that he was really working it out loud. I think it was the second video I watched that he was saying something along those lines, that it was like, this is not why I do this. It's not. And then, the fine art part, and you get to tell, and we have this sort of, and especially between the, what is considered like the craft world and the art world, and this and all these labels that people put on it. And ultimately, I think the thing is that it's whatever you want it to be and how you approach it. And that's okay.
It is okay. And I think we all have to start somewhere. Come on now.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that wherever you're starting from, don't just sit there in the middle of the stream, with your anchor dropped so that you're not moving.
Yeah.
You know, the fish are further down. Keep on fishing. Keep on fishing. Create from curiosity.
Yes, that was one of his big things.
Create from curiosity. Okay. All right. So he said his last question was, he says, how do you really know when a painting's done? And you will notice he just keeps,
Keeps at it.
he just adds layer upon layer
And he's
upon
like, nope,
layer.
that wasn't the thing. Because he did the one thing. He's like, that didn't turn it out at all. Like what I thought it was going to.
Yeah. And he just keeps at it. And so here's what I said. Some cakes take longer to bake than others, especially fruit cake. That's mine for the day.
That's yours?
That's for the day.
Okay. Kung Pao, meow.
Kung Pao, meow.
Yeah, love it.
All righty.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Now, I am going to do a little spin-off of that in the whole thought process there and the creativity and, you know, who we are and how does that define me or you or even the space that you come to. I have a question for you guys, and I'm going to post this over in Makers because I'm very curious. We're at a weird spot in this whole channel stream art making. Who are we? I mean, we're mixed media artists, but it feels like we are even more than that. But I don't know how to define it. I'm not sure that it needs to be defined. It would probably be helpful for the YouTube algorithm if we did define it. Just saying.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, our goal here is to reach as many wonderful, confused artists, crafter, mixed media
frustrated
people as we possibly can. And so it's helpful when we do have somewhat of a definition of that. So my question to you guys, and I'm going to post this over at Makers. How would you describe us?
Oh,
To your friends, how would you say you should come watch PM Artist Studio because ...
Okay. Mo wants to know if we could have the link again for the video you
Yes.
watched. The last one was incorrect.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening there. But I will tell you right now, he has different channels.
Oh, does he? Well, no, I think what you're seeing is him coming up on other people's podcasts.
Okay, could be.
Yeah.
Because I know that he talks to other people and what I just have, you know, once I watched that one video, I was just like, well, I'm going to
He's actually been in movies
here.
too. Yeah, and he goes through that in that one video. Like, that was really kind of cool. I was like, I've not seen either one of those things that he showed. I was like, there's new stuff. There already. There are things there that I know nothing about, which is exciting. Yeah, sorry. I probably just copied the thing and didn't get the whole thing.
Janet Boyer creates this, call it art chats. I love your creative thoughts. Thank you, Holly. They aren't always creative. I should say sometimes they're always creative. They aren't necessarily. I feel with David Choe on that because there's a lot of stuff that I just put it aside, and it's like, okay, I'm not feeling that today. It isn't where my head's going. I'll just put that aside for another day. And then you notice I get it back out and put a whole,
She finds it again. That's really what happens.
Usually those end up being the best ones. It isn't the ones that I just whip out here and everything just seems to fall in place. Chonk, 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 chonk.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're not bad, but I don't think they're my best work. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Top side. Doing it. There we go.
I got a couple of things I want to do today. So I haven't really decided what number 25, and I might have to go ahead and do what was today. Today's the 25th. Okay.
Yeah.
I might go ahead and do 26 too. I don't know.
I got to do some cards, but I'm not really feeling. This week has been nutty.
Yeah.
Well, it's full moon. Full moon.
Full moon. Izzy is
We're gearing up for school.
Gearing up for school. Had to go to the dentist, get her spacer respaced.
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All this other business. So anyway, here's another. This is the other half of the puffer fish that Mariah used. And the reason I didn't cut off this stuff is because I thought it was really, really cool.
All right. So Ricky had a question regarding the frottage from last time. So she did seal them. I don't know if you really went into depth on like that's what you were doing when you were doing it in the last video.
I don't know that I thought I said that. Yeah, I know I mentioned that you need to seal them. I don't know that you got the idea that
That's
I
what
really
she
was
doing.
sealing them when I was using the airbrush.
Yeah. And that
medium.
works great.
It did. And I'm going to do some more with that because I had this idea and it occurred when I had this underneath and I thought, look at that. Isn't that cool? What if, curiosity, what if I would go ahead and do this whole thing like I did with the airbrush medium and the paint.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of putting it on with just flop this down on top of it or flop the gel plate down on top of this. But I've got to come up with, I don't know if I want to draw it or if I want to use stamps or whatever. I haven't really come around on that. But remember this? This was with this, the gloss medium, right? No. Yes.
Yes.
This is the slow drying extender for acrylic colors. And it's not like super extender. It's not like open because it doesn't stay open forever. I mean, depending on how thick it is, of course, that has something to do with it.
Amount matters.
The amount. Yeah.
That falls under size matters.
It kind of comes under that category. Size matters. Anyhow, I was looking at this and I was thinking, well, I could do this and then pick it up with this.
Hey, Heather.
Because this is still, it's a nice porous surface. I think it would work. So those are some of my thoughts. And then I got thinking, okay, this one's not sealed. And I can just tell you that because I can still feel the greasy oil pastel. And I did address, someone mentioned, they said, well, there is a difference between soft pastels.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay. No, okay. Here, let me, because this was really my bad. Because I am not that knowledgeable. And it's kind of one of those things I think sometimes we sort of take for granted. It wasn't that I didn't know that. But then, we never mean to offend. By any means do we, we aren't trying to be cute with the whole fact that I called it chalk. It's just, it's one of those things where I felt like that was more accessible terminology for people, that are just kind of, we whip a lot of information out there to you guys. And then I was like, that duly noted, because it was Ricky. Ricky was like, hey, there is a big difference. Chalk is something that kids play with. It is not highly pigmented, that is true. And, if we want to be informative and considered someplace to come for good information versus, just some, I can't guarantee that doesn't happen because sorry. I mean, sometimes we like to just, wing it. It happens. But
usually I tell you when I am.
Yeah, definitely apologies for that. It was not necessarily on purpose, but yes, there are hard and soft pastels. I hadn't really even just thought about it.
There are hard and soft pastels, both in the chalk, and I'm going to use chalk because it's a pigment, soft. It's not.
You want me to pull that stuff down real quick so we can show people? I think a visual on this, because that may not register some people. Like they see these color stick things, and
I don't have any the really fancy chalk pastels are like Rembrandt, and they're nice and soft and luscious. But new pastels are a different brand. They're very hard, and you get a nice narrow line with those. So you really, if you're going to get into it, you need to have both kinds. By the same token, the other day you watched me with the oil pastels. Some of them are very creamy and blend lovely. Some of them are not. They're harder, and they do have that same line quality that I was just discussing. All right, Mariah's found them for me. Aha.
And they even come like in a pencil form. I mean, the woman, she's collected versions.
I have lots of pastels. Okay, these are called artist pastels. Oh, here, look. All pastels are subject to breakage despite great care in packaging and handling. Breakability is no way affected. The first thing I do is...
Hey, look, you may want to refresh some of your oil packets.
Okay, and this is from another box. This is the new pastels. Those are harder. They're color sticks. Called color sticks. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, thank you, Mariah. Okay, these are old school. These are the ones that are really dark and yummy. Now the other one, the crayons, these are oil pastels that I'm dealing with right now. This underneath here are different thing. And I don't know what this is. Oh, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
The little paper's just slipping right off. But see how they get that over, I don't know what it is, but yeah, you need to get that off there. They're all different. So I say buy little when you're getting, if you want to experiment with them, again, buy little, small sets so that you can compare and contrast, because not everybody likes the same thing. Some people like, you know, the smushy ones. Some people like the hard ones.
Hi, Eddie.
All right, so here we
Hi,
go
Melvin.
with the chalk pastels. Look at this. They're not even broken up, but I use
know.
Pink. I think Izzy used these.
Well, let me tell you, like hers that are in her regular usage, which I don't know where that little tin is, are a hot mess. Like you wouldn't recognize them because you'd be like, what are those weird little, just gross looking? Because they're all gooed up and have rolled around together, and
Yeah.
they're not like that.
No.
This was kind of nice that I found this box. Like,
Yeah, it is. And it's unusual.
yeah.
It's unusual. Okay, so these are kind of medium. They're not really, I don't know what, SMI, I don't even know what that means. Let's see, I have on the end chalk pastel. But they're not super hard. But see, this is what happens. And this is what,
Drives me crazy.
They're messy.
They're very messy. And they dry your fingers out.
But anyway, you can see. Okay, so these are rather soft. I hope I have some of the...
I didn't see any. I know what you're talking about, and they are the harder sticks. Like
Yeah.
you can just tell by the way they look.
They're
I
new
think those.
pastels. They're in a long, thin thing. Well, I'm going to go ahead and show them the crayon pastel pencils.
Yeah, look at the dust on them.
Yeah. I thought I couldn't live without these.
Obviously, they were not a super big hit. Although you liked the green.
I like the white. I know what I was using. I was using these on black paper for the charcoal, doing resist.
But it was nice having them in a pencil form.
Yes, it was, because you weren't getting it all over you. And here it is, the black. But these are just very, okay, these are the ones that, you can draw with them. And you can get lovely line quality. Whereas the smushy ones, not so much. But you need both.
If you're into the
pastel
thing.
Now, these will still smear.
But they're going to leave that harder line.
But you're going to always have that harder line. These down here are going to smush out. So I hope that that's helpful. Or that,
Oh, that is a very good, something to let people know. If you are like asthmatic or have, dust allergies or anything like that, the soft pastels are probably not your thing.
Probably not for you. Yeah,
unless you want to wear a mask while doing art.
Yeah.
Because it does. It poofs up and it.
All right. I'm going to have to get rid of that piece of paper. Yeah. Well, look, I've already used the other side.
Oh, that's true.
And this is the oil pastel.
And then Sophia says also, but they're kind of fun to play with water. I actually like that. I remember doing that as a kid. Because they are darker and they stay in place. If you kind of water.
Oh.
You wet the paper.
I don't know that I've ever done that.
I like that. I'm down with that.
Okay. Clean piece of paper down here. And let's see. All right. Now what? Okay. I wanted to talk about, I went through, and I know, she may watch replays, but I don't think that,
Who's this?
Susan.
Susan? Yeah, no, I think she does. In fact, I heard she emailed me today. She had asked a question.
Well, I found these two. Look at these. These two pieces of paper that she sent. Well, I think she actually sent them to Mariah, but I asked if I could have them because I love them. But look at this. This is just perfect for the fish. And I'm having a hard time deciding where it is because I love these little bloomy marks here. But then on this other, and there's wonderful ones down here, but look at this and look at up here in this corner. Look at those. But I think that this,
yeah, I like that.
The white, the lighter is more better.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I like that. It almost looks like it runs, you know, it makes sense that he would be right there.
Yeah, I think so too. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on. I don't know that I'm going to do that today, but I have that. And look at this. And I figured out how to make, if I want to use the gel plate and I want to get my number down with my gel plate layer, I make the number, I put it down, and now I know how to make it what it looks like backwards. Because remember, on the gel plate, if you're going directly on, it's going to be backwards.
Oh, so you're writing it.
Writing.
Okay, I was wondering why you were
writing any type of writing or numbers.
I didn't understand what you were talking about the other day, and I just didn't really have time to like work it out with her. I was like, that sounds great.
Okay, so if I want my 25 to end up like that, I'm going to have to put it like that on the gel plate.
Yes.
Okay.
I do understand that, but I was like, I mean, if you're gluing down that piece of paper, I didn't understand that you were doing that more for a visual.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry you didn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to keep this one out here for an oopsie.
Yeah.
It'll probably turn out to be the best one.
Or the worst one.
That's what happens. It inevitably happens that way. Okay, I'll put that up there on top of my journal. That way I might actually be able to find it at some point.
Okay, let me do a little thing. 1 second.
Okay.
Hey, everybody that has started coming in, do give us those hello hands, the hello yellows or pinky hello hands. Either one works, but do say hello and give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't already. Here we go.
Oh, Sheen Collab.
Hi, Dee Dee. If you don't like chalky or oil pastels, you might try the pan pastels. They're totally not chalky. I was always kind of wondering about that. Are they kind of oily? Are they like somewhere in between?
We don't know about those.
We don't have any.
We don't have any though.
And part of that was like because I asked P if she wanted some at one point in time. She's like, well, I
just had a lot of other stuff that I thought was more pressing.
Yeah.
And okay, this is slightly grubby, but I think it's still going to be okay for our purposes today.
Yes.
Now, so I'm going to try some different things here before I actually, because I do love this so much. Remember, this is the frottage. But I really want, okay, maybe we should just go ahead and interview some of the stamps. I'm definitely feeling like that.
Oh,
I want to keep going with the circular.
I have more containers downstairs. That's those 2 boxes that are, just sitting down there. I just haven't brought them up because it looks like there's a lot of things that need to be dealt with.
Oh.
But just FYI.
All right. Now, I'm thinking this one, but I don't know whether I want to go with the big one or the medium-sized one here.
Yeah.
On this. See what I'm saying?
Oh, I like that one.
But I really, this might be better. Or
you need
what
one
about this one?
You do need one with the thicker lines to it.
Well, and this has got a really thick middle.
Sometimes.
But then this one could also be a good one because
I like that.
It really gives you lots of space in between.
Can we? Yeah.
Okay, I'm liking that too.
Okay. Is this the box of flowers, leaves, and it looks like there's a theme? She changed up her stamp boxes. You can't.
Yeah, this is the leaf rocks, cactus, flower.
Okay. Foliage.
And You know, I've thought about this, but I use that all the time. I try to branch out a little bit. You know, it's really sad when you just keep using the same thing over and over and over again.
No.
I tend to do that. I know that. It's because I like it. All right, I'm thinking this flower is going to make me happy, and I'm going to keep that. Try to get most of the flour onto the
Okay, which you gotta hold it up into the thing to let me know which one you.
What is that?
I think that's one of Darcy's, but what's the flower you chose?
I don't know.
Can you flip it over? Put it up into the technology. Oh, there it's okay. Yeah, that is one of the sketch flowers that actually, this particular one comes with the 2 leaves with it. I believe this is style 2. Oh, balloons. I didn't mean to do that. That thing just.
So we're just going to go ahead and grab this. Changed my mind on the plate. Got some little wormy, stringy things there. I don't hope that's not going to be.
I don't know how to turn that thing off.
What?
And I've actually looked it up. The funny little things. So I was holding up my hands like this because, like, you know, whatever. And then the balloons came up and I was like.
Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to keep this underneath here. So I can really, you know, put it down there. Should have just used that
Hi, Lucy.
yucky piece of paper because I'm going to get it all yucky anyway.
Yucky, yucky. Yuck, yuck.
Okay. So I can flip it over and, you know, try to get it positioned at least somewhat where I really, really want it.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about color.
Yeah.
I want it to be transparent but I don't want it to be too transparent.
Sweet spot. Goldilocks.
It is. It is totally. All right, so I'm going to have to turn this whole thing this way.
Uh-huh.
Because I need to get my number in here. What did I do with my number?
I don't know.
God.
I got you. I would like to say I got your number, but I don't.
Lost my number.
Hold up. Work and talk about it.
Oh, here it is.
We done found it.
The dadgum air conditioning.
You gotta strap things down
Wreaked
around here.
havoc with my tissue paper. All right, so I need to have that underneath here so that I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Tom Bien.
Mm-hmm. Look at her. Look at all this prepping.
Oh, it's really not. I'm just
if you're
flying
new
by
to the channel, this is not usual.
Oh my gosh.
Normally there would be about 3 mess ups.
I think I can look at it there and figure it out, you know?
Is that what you want to do? Okay.
Just looking at it, I'm hoping that I can visually. I'm thinking that I'm at least that right.
Well, we'll see.
Not necessarily so. Okay, I have to turn it this way, and then I'll turn it the other way again. And
color.
Purple.
What are you doing?
All right, so here's the thing.
Hold on a second. So the number, is it going to be done in something else?
No, I'm gonna
Sgraffito it in.
Sgraffito it in. I need to get that ready. Thank you for reminding me about that.
I'm glad that we have established that.
I'll get my little pointy jobber. I kind of need to clean it up. It's a little bit corroded over.
Silver Granny's saying blue. Now everything's going to turn kind of brown.
I'm really glad that you all are talking about this because here's what I'm thinking. I am thinking I don't want to brown out this or this.
Right.
I don't because I like that. But I am going to have some contrast because I basically want my number right down in that corner. I've already decided that. Just composition wise. So my flower is going to go here. So what are the main colors that are surrounding the flower? Well, they're mostly the reds and the purple.
Right.
Which is already in there. And
hey, you should go something like, okay, either like the violet-y purple. You know what you need to do is do the magenta in your
magenta
fluid.
is a good one. Why is all of my stuff falling over here?
I'm not in charge of that.
All right, so
Yes.
we've got quinacridone magenta. I think this is a good one.
Yes.
And this is a fluid acrylic, which I'm going to go ahead and use my slow drying extender with this. So we're going to go ahead and transparentize it even more than it already is. But you can see, it's I would say semi.
Oh, sorry. We're all trying to get used to the new
There's a teeny tiny little trinket. We're gonna do something with those one of these days. I just don't know.
Hi, Paula.
Don't know when or how or what or whatever.
Oh.
Okay, let's get a little of our medium down here.
And this is the gloss glaze.
Clean her nose the last time she was used. I just guess at the amount, I don't really, there's no.
If you want to know what the recommended dosage, you can find that over on the Golden website. They let you know those sorts of things there. They have like, what do they call it? Resources.
I don't know what that is either, but some foreign matter.
Was it furry or?
Yeah, it was a little bit. I wasn't going to go into it, but I'm just trying to get this transparent enough because I know if I've got it transparent enough to see it through here, that I'm going to still be able to see my background stuff. See what I'm saying?
Very nice. That was smart to get it back behind there. Now you have a better idea of like,
yeah.
Now it's going through the plate too. So just keep in mind it will be more transparent than it appears at this moment.
I am doing a little slight, see that little wiggle that I'm doing there? That is to pull up more of the paint than would be
otherwise.
Pullable, whatever.
Yeah, pullable.
All right, so I'm thinking that my number is going to be down here. Oh, God, I am so bad at doing things backwards.
Look at that. That was pretty good.
I don't know. I hope it's in a place where I can access. Oh, look at this.
She did it on the right.
That's all right. I have.
That's okay. Hey, you got the flower on the right side. The flower ended up in the right spot.
That was what was most important.
Yeah.
And see why I had to put down that extra sheet of paper.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you're thinking ahead was just really
that worked out nicely.
Very impressive.
Well, especially considering that,
yes,
it doesn't usually work out that way.
Hey, 2 out of 3 things she did well.
All right, now look at that.
I love it.
Okay, now. Gotta get my paper off of here.
And do keep in mind this is paint to paint. So I was
Well, what happened here is we left a lot of
good stuff on the plate.
Hey, I've got the number.
You do.
All right, so we're going to plan B.
Love it.
We're directly stamp onto the dead gum paper.
And it doesn't work the way.
You know, I wanted to try it. And I think even though it wasn't necessarily successful, the number came out. That's a plus, right?
We're moving on to that, Eddie.
I've still got lighter area here on the number ended up on the wrong side, but at least I didn't. It's in an area where yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll just let this dry because this will be a nice background for something else.
Yes, Mo says be prepared to modify your plan.
There you go. All right, we're modifying. Mariah, do you have...
Stop hollering at me. You're yelling at me.
Oh, sorry. Do you have a color that you think would be compatible in a stamp thing in one of those opaque... She's handed me this.
Yeah. think it should be that.
All right, now I'm going to give this some trial and error here because I don't know what it's going to do. I don't have enough experience with these stamps to really. Now I do still have some acrylic paint on my stamp. We're going to see if that's going to be a detriment or.
Oh, yeah, you didn't clean off your stamp.
I didn't clean it.
Look at you, bad stamp parenting.
I
like that. And then we can put some stuff over it. Seal it in.
Oh.
We need to seal it in.
All right. I love that. All right. So what we're going to do here, Mariah, I want you to get out that very dark.
The mix.
Purple. Put some more blue in it, please.
Aye, aye, Captain.
As remember the last time we decided that that was what was going to be preferable.
Now, what blue do you want in it? Because I
got
the light blue and the dark blue. Dark blue.
Dark blue.
You want a little sprinkle a little more of that in there
and shake it around.
Shake it around.
Yeah. All right, now I need to think about this. How do I want my... Here it comes. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and, while she's doing that, I'm going to stamp a few more on these because this is a really pretty background here, I think. And that I love this flower. I love the line quality of this flower a lot. Oh, and now see, look at that. Isn't that interesting? I'm going to put it up into the technology.
Oh, yeah, because it's...
And that may be because of the paint that's on the, still on the...
right.
But I don't think it's affecting it. I'm not going to get all hot to trot about removing it.
Okay.
I figure it's just going to add to the overall line of the flower.
It's called justification.
Justification.
Okay.
Did it stick?
It did. In fact, you know, it stuck real well in lots of places.
Oh, that's probably because it's still kind of wet.
Yeah.
Remember we had...
yes. But you had already kind of done your thing before I, you know, was able to stop you. So it's okay.
It'll just be what it is, Mariah.
We're professionals. Okay, what are we doing here? I'm gonna heat this thing up and then I'm gonna whack. We're gonna whack.
This is Distress Oxide Wilted Violet. And as soon as I get through doing this, oh, and I wanted to say, Brianna, was anybody see Brianna here today? She's my scrap swap
Bree?
partner. Is it Bree?
Well, yeah.
Oh. Well, did we see her today?
Bree?
Call her. So I can just, and I think it's kind of cool when I send things that in the mail that, you know, we've been working on. I think that's kind of cool. Because you get to see them
As they're made.
on.
Hope y'all think that's just as cool as we
Yeah, I
do.
hope y'all think that's cool. I think it's cool.
Deb says, Miss Mariah, if I use a foam stamp with a pigment ink, what process do I need to observe for its care? Well, that's kind of up to you in certain ways.
I love this, Mariah.
Yeah, I think it turned out
I
pretty
think
good.
it, but I'm going to add something. I'm going to do something, just one other little thing.
Okay, let me finish answering Deb here.
Okay.
Well, what you really want to do is just stamp off. If you want to kind of keep them clean and not like have a total question mark of like the next time you use it, then stamp it off. But you don't need to like use any cleaners. In fact, you probably want to stay away from anything that has, you know, solvents or blah, 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 any of that stuff. If it doesn't just come off with a little bit of soap and water, then, you know, it's okay. But, of course, with your acrylic paints, you want to make sure you get that off there. Soap and water. That works. Just don't be too rough with it. But yeah, otherwise just kind of stamping it off or leaving it on there is fine. I leave the stuff on there and it hasn't seemed to mess anything up so far. So far, so good. Yes.
I'm just trying to emphasize a little bit. I don't want it to scream
Oh, that's good.
at me.
Yeah. Well done.
But I do want to just have it differentiate itself. Now, I could also do this with colored pencil.
Paula's husband would like to know, how the heck does P's hat stay on when she jiggles about so much?
I use lots of product underneath it, so it kind of sticks it on.
Nah, she's got a big old melon and it's on tight.
Okay, now, I don't know why that's really acting like that in some places and in other places.
Oh, yeah, I will start to say that when I do the wah. Things are going to get
giving everybody
staticky.
a little bit of a heads up and like, okay.
Yeah,
So
you
this
got to, hey, from now on, because of our new settings on our mics, you can't talk while we do the wah. Because it doesn't pick it up. Does that make sense? Before we could do it, because the noise canceling thing would pick it up. Or it would, you know, clean it up.
Well, what do you think? I think it looks really cool.
Did you hear all that?
About the noise canceling?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
Did I need to say something about it?
Well, no, what I was saying is that from, I swear, I love you.
I know.
From this period on,
Oh, we've got to change.
because you can't talk while I'm whining, because it doesn't do the same noise canceling as we once had.
I don't think I was saying anything that was horribly important
Well,
when you
that's
were whining anyway.
I know, but you were talking, and
I was?
people are interested.
Oh.
They keep showing up to hear you talk about things.
Yeah. Okay, I find that pretty amazing.
It is amazing.
I'm blotting. Because I don't know if those little,
Hi, Margie. Thanks for hanging.
I don't know if those little things are going to like stay there. In fact, what I'm going to do, since I really kind of blotted some of it totally up, I'm going to come in with my medium
Mhm.
and a little bit of the benzodiazepine. You know, that one.
Mhm.
I don't know how to say that. That has way too many syllables. in
I
it.
know, the benzy yellow. That's what we call it. Oh, that's so. See, Lynn says, when P speaks, all ears are tuned into her.
Oh, bless her heart.
Mm-hmm.
I know she's blowing smoke up my butt, but I
But she
don't
likes
care.
it.
I love it. All right, now get my brush back here. This is really a crap brush too. Should just throw it away. But okay, I want to make sure it still remains transparent.
Good call,
That's-
Eddie.
I'm but see, it's just complete. I just completely blotted that all up.
Yeah, you did.
And I don't know if it's going to
You could
It's just beading up there.
You need to leave it alone and let it sit on there. Stop your blotting and let it sit.
Let it sit and dry.
Yes. She's not very good at that. That's why she likes the gel print, because
I'm like
moving along.
Need to move this baby along. Blot and go.
Mm-hmm. And Eddie says that he has used paint, oxide inks, woodies, pastels, texture paste, and they all clean off as long as you wash them right away. That is for the foam stamps. We agree with this. This is it.
All righty.
PM
okay,
supported
I
message.
think that's simply lovely.
I love it.
And y'all, I have to say this because it just cracked me up. So, okay, y'all, we're here for the shark card. But, you know, the one before where at least I said, oh my God, please do not put that down on that card.
Mm-hmm.
I promise I will help you with the background on if you will just not do that.
Shark that card.
Okay. Look what she came up with. And I agree, that shark card is awesome. It really is. I mean, it's just wonderful. Okay, I think that one's going to hold its, and I think what the problem is that we're dealing with some of those little particles that got stuck down out there, and they don't take the paint very well.
No, because they're kind of plasticky.
But that's why I like that. It's because you don't have to be careful. You can just go over the top of it and it doesn't stay there anyway. But I think that's creating some of the really cool texture that you do see there.
SWL, she wants to see the shark card.
Oh, yeah, yes, it definitely deserves another.
And I don't know that I'm going to, because I'm just like, I'm just really short on a lot of time these days. I don't know that I'm going to get to posting all of them. I kind of feel like, we do them in the streams, then hopefully that covers it.
Okay, so here's the background I created using, what was that, Mariah?
Oh, which stencil? That's the Time Warp.
Time Warp. Okay, this is a bit of fluffy stuff that was sent to us by someone.
I believe Diane.
This is a rub off onto the gel plate.
I can't remember
picked up with gold.
Which stencil was that one? I think Crackle.
I think so.
Or Desert Cracks. Sorry, Desert Cracks.
Desert Cracks. But now I don't know what this one was. Actually, this was two things because I can see the crinkle.
The ampersands.
With crinkle.
Look, yeah. Here, because I have a bigger piece. So you can tell.
So we crinkled in the background, and then we ampersanded it.
Mm-hmm. And then sprayed it with something, I think, because it's got sparkly bits on it.
Yeah.
It's been sprayed. With that much sparkle, that's spray.
Yeah,
Might have even been done in a stream.
But look, didn't that just work out splendidly? I mean, the whole thing is the shark itself provided the impetus for all of the other stuff going on here. Because see his little teeth there? That pink?
Mm-hmm.
Then you see that darker, sort of dark purple.
Well, and there was that sunsetty business that was in the background, too, that really helped drive that home.
Yeah, true. And then Sunday, July 7th. Look at that.
Yeah. And the reason we did that, because even though we didn't do it on July 7th, is because that was Shark Week. Yeah. So I've got two for the 7th. Does that put me into, even though I could skip a day? I don't know what the rules are on that.
Yeah, like we really follow those.
We've been following them so well.
So religiously.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm stamping that down over here. And I'm not cleaning that stamp off because I think it looks perfectly fine.
Hey, little this, little that.
I don't see a lot of stuff stuck to it. All righty. So, where are we here? Hand you this back, Mariah. I think I'm done with that for now. Got a nice little background paper here. What to do with that exactly. All right, now I'm going to talk to you about some stencils.
Talk to us, Patricia. Tell us about them.
I'm going to tell you about my stencil situation.
She's been sorting them.
But let me put this back up here. Oh,
Well, I don't. Have you been sorting them or just going
Yes,
through
I went through this
pile?
3-inch pile over here.
3 inches.
And I found all of them on top here. I'm going to go through every one of these, and y'all are just going to have to suck it up and go with me.
They like kind of going through this.
All right. Now,
Okay.
I have this one in this form, but I found the other one. And what happens here, a lot of times, I will
Hi,
keep
Katie.
the 9 by 12 and then give Mariah the 8 by.
Yeah, usually I send off the 8 by 10 to the designer if they don't have their own machine.
Yeah.
Any of the ones that have their own machines, they just cut their stuff because they usually cut a couple
Yeah.
of samples.
Okay. So I've got this one and I've already, mussed this about. I'll lay this down here so you
Mhm.
can see it. And
Thank
I
you,
cut
Chiquita.
out around the edge. That's what I do.
What she does.
And, it's like everything. Once you've bought it, you can do that. So I did this morning. Cut this one out also. But you can see they're a little bit different on the edges. So I'm going to use these on top of each other.
Uh-huh.
And because I already have some paint on this one, I can flip it over. And see this little indicator right here? Can
Yeah.
you see what's happening there?
Mm-hmm.
But what is really cool is there are certain places where it kind of matches up. It's just weird. Okay, so that's going to be some stuff we're going to do today. Oh, I found my small gauge.
Yes. Desert
I was
crack.
so happy to find this because I thought I'd lost it forever.
That one takes a little while to cut too, so it might not have been one that we got to you right away.
Right.
If they cut fast, I'll cut it for
I
her.
wanted to show you that and say that I found it. All right, now I want to talk about this one.
That's a Stella's. Tangled Hearts.
It is, but here's the thing. Once you use this with something else,
You don't know that it's hearts necessarily.
you no longer have that feeling of the hearts.
It's almost like a super zoomed in desert cracks.
It really is. And what I really like about it is the evenly distributed lines throughout all of it.
Oh, yes, those other ones were Snaky Swirls by Darcy. Please keep in mind, the ones in the shop have margins. You will have to cut them yourself.
But you can look at what I do and sort of,
Yeah.
or you can just make them yours. You can do whatever. I want to use these two together. So I'm going to put those right there.
And then the fancy
sorry.
scrolly one
This is,
by Rhonda Dona. What is that one? Ooh.
I don't know, but I really like it. I like it. It's overall, it's fine, and it makes a nice complement for the fat lines on the other dude. All right, but here's her
Rhonda.
other one,
Help.
which I like to use these two together.
I don't know why. Rococo. I want to say Rococo, but I don't
I
know
just
now.
call them all Victorian.
They are. We should just create a category called some Victorian
Victorian.
fancy stuff.
This is Victorian stuff. All right, so I found this little Hummer. And remember this one? This was my mark making one.
Zoomy.
I was very happy to find this one because this is a great one for, just if you want just a little bit of something and you just take your dabber and you just come in and you just dab a little.
Oh, look, she doesn't do. She says chic leaves and Rococo. But she had a question mark after chic leaves.
Okay. So I'm really thinking about retiring this one because it's weighing about 5 pounds. And the last time I used it, I didn't get a very good.
You're right.
Once you start not getting a good print impression, then, that's one of the things about cleaning your stencils. They're going to hold in there and last longer. But, I didn't on this one and it's already. I could probably turn it over and use this side, but I don't.
The other thing is you can soak them in something like the Murphy's oil or whatever. It'll take a good day or so to soak off that.
Yeah, and
paint.
put it down on one of your flat pieces of lucite or plexiglass, and take the soft brush and brush
Hey,
them.
here's the thing. I think, and I would love for anybody that does have Murphy's oil and wanted to do this experiment, and please let us know your results because that would be super. If you mess up your stencil, I'll send you one. But I'm only doing it for one person, whoever reaches out to me first. That's what I'll say about that. Disclaimer. If you do this experiment, And I would love it to be one of our people that have a channel, because if you could show it on your channel, that'd be really awesome. And I'll link your video in our how to clean your stencils thing of our website. So there's a little challenge out to my YouTuber, PM artist studio designer peoples. Soak one of your well painted up stencils in the Murphy's oil. Let us know kind of how long it took. And if indeed did all of the paint come off, or did you have to do a little work on it afterwards? That's my question. There you go.
Yeah, be careful not to clog your sink up with the paint residue.
No, whatever you do,
I always clean it up with paper towels.
Yeah.
Before.
So, the Jackie Bernardi, she did a video, and I was a little sad because she didn't have all the information on Yupo and everything in there, because she wasn't sure about the Yupo as a, putting it in with the Murphy's oil, because she did a whole cleaning video, and I really wish she if she would have done that in that video, I would have mind blown. But she wasn't sure about the Yupo, and that's fine, because she's still pretty new to Yupo. But it would have, I believe that it will work. I don't think it's going to dissolve.
I know the samples. No, I've had them in there for months, literally months.
Well, with the Dawn and whatnot, but you've not soaked it in the Murphy's oil.
I did not.
She did all of her tools, and it turned into this goo. But what was great is she could just kind of scoop that stuff off, put it in paper towel, and throw it in the trash. So then that saves you yeah. So there you go.
Well, okay, I got one better than that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
When I got that one stencil off, remember that?
She was so excited. We have it somewhere.
I just lifted. Now this has not happened since then.
Mm-mm.
Just lifted it off and put it on a piece of paper, and you were like, "How did that happen?" And I don't even know where it is. I know I wouldn't have given it away.
And I remember that it was the Stompy, or not Stompy Rocks, Blip Blop Rocks.
Yes,
was the stencil.
But I could just peel that layer right off.
It was pretty crazy, because I was like, is that the stencil? She's like, no, that's the paint that came off of it. It was pretty great.
It really was. All right, I have these two stencils together because
Sandy,
I think they're marvelous together. And a lot of times it really does, when you're looking at something and you're going, okay, now, why do I really want that, and what's it going to go with? Well, obviously, it will go really well with this.
Oh, yes, it does. Look at that.
Now, the other one.
I love you digging through your piles. Love it.
Is this. Look at what happens with this.
Ooh, that's fun. Okay, so this is Geopic, I believe, by Miriam. That one. And then this is the, oh goodness, that's ours. Swirls something. No,
it's the one you have to be careful with, because see, I've had to mend it.
Yes, that is Geopic. There are some little kind of floppy parts there to that one, so just keep in mind.
Warning. And the whole thing about it is I don't really care, but I will just tell you, because when I pulled it up, I pulled this whole section loose here. Now, once it gets paint on it, after a while, it's not going to suck down onto the plate like it does.
Right, Shashiko. Thank you.
Yeah.
Susan, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this aside, put this one down here.
I haven't been doing very well.
I don't know if I'm going to get to all of these, but I just went through these yesterday and thought, this is so much fun. And I was so happy to find this. Look at this. Isn't this fun?
That is fun.
And the thing about it is you've got all of these curved lines. Now, you do have a few curved lines here in this.
Hey, Mama Juju.
But it just, it gives it a whole different flavor.
Yeah. Paula says her info. If I need to, she soaks hers overnight in a bowl of washing up liquid, which I would assume is something like, Dawn or something similar. Then rinse them under the spray tap. That's what she does. And sometimes a % of the paint just slides off. Bye, Helen. I know it's late. I know.
All right. Now, I know it seems weird. There's a spider web, kind of Halloween.
No, those are perfect because actually, all right. So the one on top is Darcy's, and that one is that one Spooky Swirls?
I don't know.
But see, it's perfect.
But I think these two together, when I looked at them and they just happened to be lying on top of each other. So it was a very, serendipitous thing. It just, wow, look at this. This is so cool. And you can see through the big holes. So sometimes what you're looking for is you're looking for bigger holes. Sometimes you're looking for things that block more of what is underneath.
Right.
This is a lovely combination. It balances out perfectly.
All right. Lisa Mingus says she soaks hers overnight in the Murphy's oil and very hot water. Next morning, she takes it out and uses a little pot scraper gently. She didn't put that in bold, but I'm saying that in bold. Gently to remove loose paint. Most of the time, it only takes one soak. I believe that is true.
Okay, now if you look at this and then you put this on top of this, do you see what happens?
I love it. Can you just get to it, or we're just doing this?
It isn't the
like
same.
A teasy show.
When you put it like this,
that's not the same.
It doesn't do the same thing. So it is so.
But that's maybe not necessarily true, because depending on how you have your
colors.
transparent paint.
This is true. The transparency has a lot to do with it. If it was super transparent, it might look really, really cool. You just don't know. That's something you have to experiment with.
Oh, that's Walter's Web. Yeah, with one of Darcy's.
All right, now the rest
swirls.
of these, I think this is just my my usual go-to.
This is the pre-show.
Leave that down there.
That
I've already used a lot. A lot. Then I went through and I found this little jobber, and what?
Oh, this is the one that you were talking about, wasn't it?
Yes.
So, can you describe that one again? What did you say to me? It was hilarious. And I knew which one she was talking about. So then I was like, should I be worried that I knew what the heck she was talking about?
It's leaves on a line.
No, but you didn't even say that. You said, that one that has a little ooh in a line. Something like that. That's what she said to me. And I said, oh, are you talking about suspicious sprouts? She said, I don't know.
I found this one too, and I'm very happy about finding this one, because I think that this one kind of goes with this. See these little things in here, these little guys right here? That's kind of repeating that. I don't know for sure, but here's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about cutting these apart.
How is it you have so many not used? I think you used the inner parts of the suspicious sprouts more when you first got it. And then it got put in the pile.
Because I found that in a thing.
Yeah, look at you.
And does this come in a bigger one?
Yeah, because that looks like the 8 by 10. Because the 9 by 12 would.
I don't know where it is. I couldn't find it. It might be in a thing.
Or I might have taken it away from you. Like
you might have. I don't know. All right, so here's my thought.
Or you used it.
What I really want to do, and this is going to take a lot of time, so we're going to do this on Sunday.
Okay.
I'm going to cut this out.
Yeah.
All these strips out.
That is actually how Rhonda had it originally designed. But we were like, well,
how are you going to contain it?
Yeah, we wanted a containment system, basically.
Okay, so it's a good containment system. Then I'm going to take the little ones, and I'm going to create a cross
good God.
thing here and put it on my big plate and do a whole, probably won't be the whole 2 hours, but close to. I'm going to see how many prints I can get from this stencil, because it's going to take a while to get it down there.
Yes.
Now, I might even do that prior to.
Or get it close to being done.
I can get it close to being done.
Think about a cooking show.
It's like a cooking show. We're going to take one out of the oven, and it won't have frosting on it yet, but it'll be baked.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what I wanted to do with this, but I was so happy to find that. I was just absolutely thrilled to find that, because Mariah said, I know I gave you one. I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I don't know where it is either. So, all right, let's get after it.
That is a very good suggestion, Sherry.
What?
She says, can I suggest sheet protectors alphabetized and placed in a 3-ring binder? I'm assuming she's talking about storage.
I would love for somebody to do that, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, she needs a secretary that makes that happen.
I'm not going to do that.
And I would do that, but she wouldn't keep it.
I wouldn't. And
then I would be upset.
See, I'm just not invested in that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
that's not how I work.
Carrie
And
does his that way.
I think that's marvelous if that's what you want to do. All right, we're just going to start off here with how I've got them on the thing so that, okay, we already got some stuff down here. I don't know if that's going to be an issue, but.
Kathy says, see, now that's why we like to watch Patricia. Great creative approach with the stencils.
All right.
Maybe that's our thing, is great creative approach to all things.
All right. I'm just going to put this down like this because I just want to get the paint inside of there. And I'm just going to, go fast.
Okay, do it.
Going to go fast.
We're with you, Patricia.
Here's my new credit card from Alaska Air.
Okay. I'm hoping you're not waving that around on the, internet. That'd be great. This is why your information gets
Well, we had to get a new one because there were some
questionable things.
Questionable charges on there. And I told Van, I said they might have been mine. I don't know. I can't remember. Okay, here we go. Blue. And because this is kind of an old stencil, it does have a little bit, and I have it turned upside down. I just noticed that. That's all right. We don't care.
Okay. Yes,
this is opened. So we're going to have a little bit of time to, muss about and tickle our fancies. As he said, his fancies hadn't been tickled lately.
When did he say that?
I don't know. I just remembered it. It cracked me up.
Did it tickle
But Mariah was talking, so I couldn't say anything.
Oh.
Or she was probably telling us something really important about what she was doing, and
Y'all
I felt like it would be really rude to just jump in there and
tickle fancies,
cackling about Eddie's fancies not being tickled.
Oh, that's so awesome. Kathy says, I love her reaction in the video, Mariah. She makes me think of new things to do every time I watch. There's something you two are unique about. Well, that's awesome. Okay. See, that's good information for me. I just, when we have this whole idea of who we are and what we're, presenting out to the world, that may not necessarily be
what's being received on the other end of the.
So I'm trying to gauge that better.
All right. Now I didn't roll off because I wanted to get this. Look at this. Isn't this wonderful? Ooh. Okay. Oh, I put it the wrong way down. I'm going to be sad about that. Okay. So, whoops. I am going to try to get some of this up on another, even though I know that I want to put the other stencil down on top of it, I can always put the stencil down on top of this. But right now we've got a drying problem.
That is awesome, Susan.
This one from Wonky Railroad.
Ooh.
See if we can get some of this off.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want all of it off.
Right.
I just want some of it off so it's a little bit more transparent. Oh, and look at that. Isn't that cool? That is really cool. I really like that.
Thank you, Kathy.
All right, now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I think maybe I can get one more. Find something here. Just keep getting this stuff all over my hand.
Yes, it is a very Keith Haring feel to it. That's a good
Okay,
call.
I'm not pressing hard. Remember, I don't want to take up all of my paint because we're going to save it
for later.
I
like to save it for later. Oh, that's fabulous.
Isn't that wonderful and fun? Just fun. Burn away. Okay. Now we're going to put this up and allow it to marinate.
Need to think about itself and dry.
Cogitate. How about that? All right.
Hopefully you're using that right.
Here. And this time,
Don't want to be miscogitating.
I don't know why it's not doing this right down the middle
No,
here.
it's not. It says, nay, nay, I don't want it there.
But remember, this is a open paint, so we've got some opportunities here that we would not otherwise have. You know, as I sit here and fiddle fuddle around.
Uh-huh.
And the bigger the openings, the easier you are going to be able to get your paint through there.
Yeah.
But you still might need to, you want to make sure that you've gotten your little corners and whatnot. You just give it an extra rubby rub. Rub dub dub.
That is a very good question. Michelle says one of her problems is when to let it set and dry, or when not to.
Well, Michelle, that is a very good question. It just depends. I had to let that other one set and dry because if I'd brayered over the top of it,
Yeah,
it would have wiped it out. Now I could have put paper down on it, but I would have left it there because the paint was really, really.
Here's one way to think about it. Are you building layers on the plate, or are you going to build layers on papers?
Yeah, there you go.
You might think about it in terms of, what do you feel more comfortable with? Because building up layers on the plate, you have to think probably at the most you're going to get about 4.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, every additional layer, it's a little less likely that it is actually going to come up with that last pull layer.
Exactly. Now, what I'm going to do here is probably a little bit dangerous, but you notice I started getting a little pull off there. See that blue?
Mm-hmm.
Pulled it up. I don't want to do that. So I'm putting the painty side down, even though it's the wrong side.
Right.
I'm going to put the painty side down, and now I'm going to brayer in some stuff on this and see if we can get a double print here. Sometimes this works, sometimes not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I've got this, and I want to keep that handy because that may be what I put down. All right, what do we want here? We want something that is slightly, I certainly don't want anything open. God, I don't want anything open.
Orange.
I know, but I think is
Cheddar.
crimson, where I don't know.
That ain't orange. That's red.
Vermilion. I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of this.
I don't know either.
Because none of my other colors are like this.
Well, hey, look, you got this Tangelino.
I
Now,
have
it isn't.
what?
Well, it's lighter.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
no. It
But
doesn't have the red.
Well,
This is just so perfect.
You could add red
Because
to it
it
and,
is-
shake it up.
It's like red orange.
Mm-hmm. Red orange.
I want to be careful because I don't want blue on my.
Yeah.
We're going to get a little bit of mixy here anyway.
Also, to go back to thinking about what what to pull, what not to, what to let dry. If you like building up layers and you kind of want them more quickly, then do it, on one particular piece. But then also something to keep in mind with that is going to be that going paint to paint, because as you build the layers onto a piece of paper versus on the plate, that's going to be some consideration. So it's like, there isn't like a right or a wrong. It's all about what do you want to achieve.
And after a while, you get it. And it's so hard, and it is not something.
Somebody said that the other day.
You
It's
can't
like,
explain it. You just have to keep doing it till you figure it out.
and then it's like, oh,
And it's a wonderful voila experience. I mean, it is on the scale of, you know,
and then you kind of chase that again because you may not be able to repeat it right away. And then you're going to chase that for a little bit. I've witnessed her
All right.
evolution.
So we've got some stuff on here. This is going to be great because I'm going to use this. Now, the reason I went ahead and put this down on top of this instead of putting the paint down and then putting the stencil down is because what I want is I would like to keep a lot of what's underneath there, the color it is.
Exactly,
okay?
Susan.
Now, does that make sense? Why? I don't know. Just because, yeah.
Yeah.
That.
Because you said so.
Oh, my nose.
I noticed yeah.
All right. What do I have here that I want to use? I want something that is semi-transparent.
Oh, Becky says that is huge. Say that again. There is no right or wrong way. It's really about what you want to achieve. It really is. Like, and that's the part to kind of train your brain to go, okay, well, what is it that I'm kind of looking for? Not that that has to be the ultimate goal, but understanding what it is. It's like, okay, am I going to create a piece on the gel plate or am I going to do one on the papers? Or here's another thing. A lot of times what really happens is both things are happening at the same time. You don't want to call her the Swedish chef and she's got the hoot-de-doo, like about 3 different things going on at the same time. And that's why she really loves this, because she can kind of, one thing is happening with the other. Layering it over here on this piece of paper because she kept that one from the, the pull off here, the little rub off thing here. Oh, wait, I have a brayer off here. I'm going to slap that down. That's the second layer to this thing. Oh, wait, now let's pull another plate out because it's dry. Let's put another layer on. I mean, really, that in a nutshell is the crazy hot mess stuff that happens here at PMR Studio.
I got some paint on the end of my nozzle.
And then there's that.
And then that happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Washing that off. Now, the airbrush medium, I don't know if this is the way to go about this, but I'm just going to try it.
She likes it. It's been working.
I want that transparent layer there.
I love what the airbrush medium does to the paint. I find that very appealing. The sheen of it.
And this is that wonderful, I love this. This is one of my favorite paints. Permanent Rose by Winsor Newton. It was just an accident. We were trying to replace the the one Carrie sent me, Mariah. What was this called?
Yeah, like the neon-y almost. It's almost neon-y. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, here it is. Okay, I've just about used it all. Opera Rose by Winsor Newton. All right, it was a little weak, and I told Mariah, I said, I'd like something in that color range, but just a little bit less transparent, because that is really, really transparent. Okay, I'm going through my second paper here. And look at that. It's picking up the brick pattern.
Yeah, exactly, Sophia. Yeah. So Sophia says that art, no matter what level or skill you have, is about practice and play. And one feeds the other. It's how you increase your knowledge and your skill. And that is how you get confident.
All right, now I'm not even, I don't know, maybe I should just go ahead and flop that off.
Yeah,
I don't know that I'm going to get anything from it, but nothing ventured, nothing gained.
That's right. And because
David Choe may never ever talk to us, but I think it's great to let him know that even though he probably is like going, oh my God.
Hey, but by the way, if y'all do go over and watch his videos and like leave comments or anything, let him know that we sent you guys and talk to him, because maybe, he's more likely to chit chat with us.
And, I don't know if he's, if he would just think he's really quite above our,
that happens.
Whatever.
I've run into that a couple
times.
And
a lot of times it kind of depends on if you have a certain anatomical piece
That seems to be more of
yes,
the ones
if you
that I
have
run
that
into.
appendage, it seems to be more
Yes.
you know, somehow you are entitled to more legitimacy,
More arty.
art legitimacy.
Fine art.
And I don't know. If he disagrees with that, he can come on and talk to me about it.
Let
I
us know.
certainly wouldn't hurt my feelings any at all. All right. Now,
We
look.
can debate that.
Yeah. Well, I don't even have to debate it. I mean, you know, go to an art museum. Count how many men are in there and how many women. Well, unless you do go to the Women's Art Museum in
That doesn't count.
Washington, D.C., and then, I don't know, there might be some in there. They didn't come out that way, but they are that way now. Okie dokie.
Ah, the views.
All right, the orange is dry. Now, what did we decide we were going to put down on
Just
that?
general. Paula, in general. Oh, yes. I can't believe that you're keeping these all straight. Like, I am super, super duper impressed with your, like, queuing things up today.
Hey, I spent a lot of time on this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I really honestly did.
I love it.
And then I spent a lot of time this morning cutting out, but I started cutting them out yesterday. And I want to get to that, but I just was so excited about the combinations that I could see here and how it was really important to show this and somehow communicate it to the point that, you know, put your stencils together. Don't just let them sit in there and just use one and they're precious or whatever. Use the crap out of them and then slap them down in a book that you're making. All right, what do we want here? This is orange, so I want something to make that orange where the lines are. I want the orange to remain, but I would like to be able to emphasize it.
That is very true, Debsy. Debsy says snooty is snooty, rude is rude, and it doesn't require an appendage.
Oh, well, this is true.
Yes.
It just seems to be that it's more
We have run into that as far as
Okay.
reaching out to other channels. The ones that, yeah. That has been our experience thus far.
This is Brilliant Blue. Look at me reading that. And as you can see, it's completely opaque. That's what they say. But you know, it's not really true. It's however much you layer it out there. And what we're going to do is we're going to do what I just did on that other one. And we're
Yeah, we love yours, Mark.
Whip down some.
And Eddie. And Carrie.
Yeah, I didn't mean to offend you, but I'm just speaking the truth. Y'all know it's the truth.
Well, I will say, so out of the people that we have reached out to, like other channels, any of the ones that have not shown any interest or have been very
dismissive,
very dismissive, like noticeably, not even just like, I had to question it. Like, I was like, dang, like that was rude. I have been of that persuasion.
And you know, I again, it's not, it doesn't say anything about us. It says something more about them. That, you know, when you start getting so self-important that you cannot somehow or other relate to your fellow human beings.
Yeah. It's
yeah,
just,
that
it's very
kind
weird.
of, that's creating some karma there that's going to reach up and bite you.
Yeah.
I think. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with being a little bit humble. All right. Now, do you remember what we had underneath?
Yes, the can I remember which?
That is so
it's
gorgeous.
Darcy's stencil. Ooh, you went a little heavy, lady.
Now we did. Well, we did, and but remember, that's kind of what happens with that. You must understand that is what's going to happen once you use the loosey-goosey stuff,
especially directly as you did.
And when you are an aggressive brayer,
you're an aggressive brayer. But look at that. Hey, the flop off might be the winner chicken dinner.
Well, so much of the time it is
flop off.
The flop off or the brayer off.
That was a brayer and a flop. That was
pretty.
But that still looks good. You got some good corners there.
I know, but even though it isn't
And
gets
bobbles.
lost.
Bubbles
It
and
still
bubbles.
looks great.
Thank you,
We're
Eddie.
going, it depends on what we're going to pull this with. That's going to make it really like so totally
Exactly,
awesome
Paul.
that it's just going to blow
Wendy.
your freaking mind. Okay, I'm bringing blue back. Remember?
We're winning hearts and minds.
This is the blue.
Still not dry.
Open. See that? Yeah. We're probably talking about tomorrow.
Hey, it's nice that you have that edge, like this little checker edge for you.
Yeah, a checker edge. Okay, let's check this one. Oh, look at that. Perfect.
All good.
All good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now what are we going to do? All right, I had one other stencil that I was going to use. Just, I have to get cleaned up here because...
I like that Sophia thing. That's cool.
What?
She says that, sorry, I lost that in movie. Okay, because karma is a shark, M cards is appropriate or apt. Yes. Oh, yeah, and sometimes the brayer offs just are the, bomb diggity.
Anthony said he just posted 5 new Barons and 1 sold already.
Wonderful.
Dadgummit. I didn't even get to see him. Anthony, you need to have a place for your stuff that's been sold.
Well, and here's the thing. Will you just tag P? I don't know if you know how to tag people, but because she feels like she gets missed out on these things. And I don't know why, but, Hey, Pretty Penny. She's working and lurking and working. All righty. That's good.
All right. Brilliant yellow is what we're going to pull this with.
Oh, the Barons are the... Hold up your Baron. Chiquita's asking.
I have 2, and I don't know what happened to my little one. I use it quite a lot when I don't have room.
Something fell over here, so it could have been.
This is my Baron, and I've had it. How long have I had it?
I don't know. Anthony might be able to answer that better, but at least a year, if not 2 now. Anthony, how long have we known?
See, it's got our logo there. Isn't that cool?
Oh, wonder. Paul already tagged you this morning. You just need to get over to Makers and put some love on people.
I've been very busy preparing them.
She's been going through her piles. It's hard work.
Well, because Mariah any day now is going to make me, she's going to make me take all of my stencils downstairs. We do this every time we do the big giveaway. And anything that doesn't have paint on it
Yes, exactly.
goes into the giveaway box. So I've been very, very...
He says 2 years. Yeah, that's crazy. It doesn't seem that long, does it? Yeah.
Now that's kind of thin, and I don't know. It might not lift up all of that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is a lever honor.
For sure.
You know, you all were talking about when to leave it on. This is a lever honor.
Because one layer is already dry. That's a great thing too. Yes. So if you have then made the decision that you have let something dry on the plate, that next layer, if that's going to be your pull up, you need to let that dry. Because if you have one dry, the next one needs to dry.
And then you put the paper down.
That's exactly
You can't pull this up right now.
That's right.
No.
Unless you want some weird wonkiness to happen. I mean, you can. But don't expect a lot to come up from the previous layer.
No, it will be very spotty, and you are not going to be happy. Well, I don't think you're going to be. Maybe you wanted
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless, of course, that's really what you're going for. Again, it's all about...
See, then you can turn this over and you can see. It's kind of mucky and messy and...
But yet vibrant.
Vibrant.
Yeah.
All right, so this needs to set until it's dry. And you can tell by feeling it. All right, I'm not bringing old blue.
Usually what she does, she has a thumbprint like right in the middle of it or kind of off to the side. She's,
Okay, this is also not dry. So now we're down to my 8x10s.
Oh, they're yelling bricks.
Brick?
Bricks. I don't know why they're yelling bricks, but because it's the circle bricks. That's why.
Circle bricks.
Yeah, mosaics. Well, those are arches.
Those are
bricks. We have circle bricks, which are also called mosaic circles. And then there are the arches by Paula. We have bricks in all forms. One point in time, we had no bricks, and that was a sad time. And then more bricks started happening, one brick after another, laid upon each other. Not that we're building walls, we're breaking them down with our bricks.
All right. Now, I don't like these because they have the border around them. You know how I feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got these.
Mm-hmm. Chiquita would like to know how many plates you have. I don't really know. 1, 2, 3, 4 back behind her, I think.
There's 4 over there. There's 3 8x10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the smaller ones. And I'm not even going to pull that. It's really ugly. Okay. So, yeah, I like this one. But the reason I like this one is because I really like these little left-in spots.
Oh, it takes her a while. We're not watching her cut the border. She doesn't just cut them off. She likes to get all creative with the border.
Oh, yeah. It takes, I have done it, but,
yeah, these would be.
Okay, so we've got 2 wonderful prints here that need something else on top of them. And the reason and I have 2 more up here too.
Okay, you got 20 minutes.
Oh, and here's bricks in a circle. This is my favorite one. I'm glad I found this. I forgot I had it out
with
here.
a border still around it.
Now, I still haven't gone through all of my stencils that I wanted to go through today.
Okay.
So I'm going to do one of these and then I'm moving on.
Okay. Sounded like a threat.
It was. And this has got something out there in that spot.
This is the plate. This is the plate with the divot in it.
This is the plate with the dippy doodah.
That just won't come out. I don't understand it.
I don't either. I mean, it's just irritating the doodah out of me.
Have you flipped it over?
Well, that takes a bit of planning and effort. And
that seems drastic. I wouldn't talk about that.
My stencil caught up here and rip up my stencil. Okay, that's pretty good.
Chiquita wants she wants to see your hat when at the end. Miriam made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Art Curious.
And she's supposed to be coming back and talking if we have, and I got to show Miriam's stencil, Mariah. What time is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't. I'm gonna have to cancel this.
Okay.
Cancel that. Miriam, dadgummit, are you here?
She's not.
You're gonna be really sorry because I wore your hat and I'm showing your stencil.
Mm-hmm. She's been working on things.
I've been working on these.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely wanted to get these in. And I thought I did a pretty good job about it. All right, so let me get my black. Here's the stencil on how it comes.
Line dot.
Line dots.
I think that's what it's called. Line dots.
Okay. So what I did is I made it into that.
Added some dots.
I added dots. I added more on the edge here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just keep putting these down. This. And what's nice is you have that nice big edge around there to play with. You've got this to play with. Okay?
Now hold it out there. So here's the deal. This is where we're getting at with this whole thing. We could turn this into a stencil that is available in the shop. Or if you guys feel confident in your abilities, or you're just, hey, you know what? I feel like this is one that I could, go ahead and chop up and match up, or, kind of create on your own. Let us know.
Yes. And Mariah, I can't use this one right now because I need the big plate.
Okay.
But I can go ahead and make this one black.
Okay. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that when if and or when we make these into a available stencil, or really it's technically we'd call these a mask at this point because they don't have borders on them. That's really our definition more than it is
Yeah,
accurate.
this has now
to-
become a mask. It's no longer a stencil.
Right.
This would be a stencil. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yeah, we're trying to do that, Becky, definitely, because that's one of the reasons I told her if she doesn't use the stuff out of her pile, then like it has to go somewhere or send it off to people's. And yeah, we're gonna do more pile digging for sure.
Okay, here's Mars Black.
I lost my train of thought.
Pardon?
I lost my train of thought. Oh yes, okay. But please keep in mind that if and or when we do put this into the shop, of course the 8x10, we can make the 8x10 no problem. The 9x12, the way that she has it, goes out all the way to the edges. If we were to reproduce it, it will be smaller. So that's one added advantage to you cutting
it yourself.
because you get more.
You do. And that's why I do it. And that's why I like to do it. Why is this doing this?
Oh, I like that, Lisa. Thank you. She said we should call this one Make It Your Own.
Make it your own. I just think that, and besides that, it's going to give you so much more satisfaction when you do that than if you just,
Candy says make. I think you've said that before with us, Candy. She likes it when PM Artist Studio does it and puts it in the shop. Yes. And we would do it in all the 3 sizes. And that's why P's making them black, because then that makes it easier for us to quickly turn it into.
Yeah, what it is now. Oh, look at that.
Very nice. Very nice.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I can come in with a marker and color in the rest of it.
Okay. Now we're going to take our hot pink paper here. All right. Again, this is one you don't want. You could pull it up if you wanted to. I'm going to leave it down because I would like to pull it all up. Let me check it. Well, I lied.
She lied.
I lied. I'm going to use this one also.
Well, you could just put matte medium down and... Okay.
Well, I couldn't because the paint was still wet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I could if I let it dry. Yeah.
Here's a thought about that. Hey, this should be an experiment. You could brayer out matte medium onto your paper, then slap it down, and then leave it.
Well, what would be the advantage to that?
Like what you just did, but you would get more of it up. But you would need to leave it and let it dry.
Well, I don't.
I know this is not a thought process that you are seem to be very engaged with, which irritates me some. But
I just want to know, why would you do that?
I just told you.
But you did not convince me. You did not convince me. There are other ways to do it. There are other ways to do it that are much more practical and efficient. Just number one, when I'm braying down clear stuff.
Hey, Candy said she was, she has started trimming into some of hers. She's like, but that one looks a little more involved. Fair enough. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it really was a little bit more involved.
I was kind of curious how you got those inner holes.
You want me to show you?
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not for the faint of heart. I will show you.
Because you can't just get the hole punchy thing out of it.
No. You can't get a hole punch in there.
You got 10 minutes.
I can do it. All right. First of all, you need a used yoga mat piece.
Something squishy.
That's the only thing that'll work.
That's it. Just cut up your yoga mat.
Come on now, y'all know you got yoga mats lying around that you don't use anymore. Mine had mold on it, so I didn't feel like putting my face down on it anymore. I didn't feel bad about cutting it up. All right, here we go.
She's saving lives, her own.
Yeah, no kidding.
She cut off the moldy bits, tossed it, and kept the rest.
Okay, so basically what I did here is I came in with my pencil, and I don't always follow my lines. You will see on that other one. All right, see, I didn't follow my lines there.
Yeah, but you roundabout.
Roundabout, kind of, sort of. Okay? And wherever you draw your mark or whatever, you need to make sure that you've got ample stuff around it because you don't want to cut in it and make flippy floppy things that are going to make you angry. So when I cut this one out, this one's going to be completely different than the other one. I might make that hole just pretty darn big.
Oh.
And let's make one down here on the end. Okay. Then you take your little yoga mat thing, and I doubled it up because I didn't want to be poking holes in my
Right.
black thing there. And I stab it. Give it a good stab. Do it in the middle.
I don't know, you realize how much angry arting you kind of do.
Yeah, stab it. You don't want to stab it anywhere on the outside because you're going to get that funny little
Hey, and those of you that are woodworkers kind of understand this, because this is how you use the little wire. Y'all know. Help me out, Anthony. Come on now, you know what I'm talking about. Because you drill a hole, and then you can slide the little wire thing through there. And what is that tool called?
It's a type of saw.
Yeah, kind of.
There we go. Now see?
But it's same concept there. Just don't know the.
It is.
Know the tool works.
You need to do it in the middle because it's really hard to cut. Now see that little jobber right there? That's going to be very, very challenging. Okay. Now here's what I did on the end. Basically, I just came in. I really don't like those little scissors. They hurt my hand.
Scroll saw? Drill bit?
Yeah.
Well, you use a drill bit, but yeah, you drill through, chop, coping
saw? I don't know.
I don't know.
I know that I used to use one in jewelry making that was like that.
Yeah, kind of.
I didn't like that part of jewelry making.
No.
I didn't like the fire part either.
Actually, really, I liked the whole jewelry making thing.
But see what I do there? Now down here on the end, I have options. I can just take this and cut that end off, but it looks to me like it needs a shape right there. And that's what I did on my other one. See, I came in and I cut extra shapes out.
Nice.
That's an extra shape. Extra.
Coping. Okay. It's like how you cope.
Yeah, I need something coping. All right. So there we go.
I don't think Anthony has a channel.
How you do it.
But he is in Makers.
He is. So.
Or do you want his shop? If you want his shop, that's over on Etsy. And then, yes, they'll drop in the link there.
And I wasn't going to cut this up because I wanted to show you how this went with this.
Thank you, Eddie.
That's all right. I'll just go ahead and do it anyway.
That was good, Lisa. Lisa says,
burn the holes using a soldering iron. Yeah, you do, but be careful. Don't breathe those fumes. Because it does create fumes, sweetie. Make sure you've got a fan blowing it away from you.
And a mask and a, yeah.
Why is there a linking bar running through the cut one? I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. Linking bar running through the cut one.
I don't know what. Anthony says he's too messy for a YT channel.
Yeah.
I cannot videotape myself.
Yeah.
To people would castigate me. Yeah, I know. It really, I understand that so totally, because when I first started this process, I was like, I just don't know if I want people to know me all that well. Because I'm not a people person. I don't even like people for the most part. I'd rather stay at home.
But she very much enjoys the art part of this. It fulfills her soul. And this is one of the best ways for her to be social. We get to hang out.
It does. And it's just like, it's a really good thing.
Yeah.
I think that this is just marvelous. And here's the thing.
Okay. She sees now what she did now to keep the long shapes connected. Yeah. And let me tell you, this is the craziest thing that all of our designers, I mean, those of them that are here, can attest to. Where's the connection? When do you connect something? Oh, wait, that's going to fall out. Oh my gosh, this, it really is very, you have to train your brain, because it gets very confusing, because you're kind of like, oh, wait, is that going to be a piece that stays into the thing? Or you're like, oh, wait, I have a circle thing around a circle thing. Well, the thing that's in the middle of the circle is coming out. So it's really irrelevant of what you put inside of if you create islands.
Yeah. I see what she did. I didn't do anything to the middle ones of this stencil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See that? Now I want you to look at it. I'm going to take it away, and I'm going to bring this one back in here.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was done to the existing shapes that were there. I only added cutouts that I thought were needed to make me happy, because I purchased, well, I didn't purchase, but I have access to the stencil, and I just knew what I wanted it to do. Number one, I like how the edges are not straight. When I use this on the big plates, I don't have to be careful that I've got my paper lined up perfectly, because y'all know I don't do a very good job of that, because my vision is horrible, and my hand-eye coordination sucks. So this really allows me wiggle room. I can put this on here anyway, and nobody's going to know. They're just going to think, oh yeah, that was the way it was supposed to be.
Yes. Well, we call them connections, but that's a very great, yes. If you create the islands, then you must create bridges to them if you want them to stay together as a whole. But sometimes, if you're creating masks, you want the whole piece to come out. So then be careful about, what pieces are happening inside of the whole thing. Yeah, it's
because this is what it looks like when you flop it off. Looks really cool, I think.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because we've had people reach out to us in the past that have sent us a design or something, and they're like, can you make this thing? And it's like, well, I don't think you understand that that's not going to work. And trying to explain it to somebody that has not cut things before is very difficult. I mean, even when Brad first started, remember I used to tell him, you got to cut that, because I can't explain it to you. You just have to see what the thing is that you created and how that's going to, actually happen in the real world. And then you'll know, oh, okay, now I understand. And it still happens to me all the time. I cut things and then I'm like, oh, that wasn't right.
And this is the smaller version.
Mm-hmm.
This is the
Oh, Chiquita wants to see the hat before we go. And we got, 1 minute.
Oh, do I take it off?
If you want to. Are you going to be able to put it back on all cute like?
No, but I can hold my head down.
Does that work? Here. I'll move this closer. There, now you can stick your head in better. And then y'all can see how disgusting her floor is, probably. How's that? Alrighty, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We very much appreciate it. Oh, good God. Why would you bring it down so low? I don't really understand that. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, we'll be back here on a Sunday. Fun day. She's got that whole suspicious sprouts long haul plus weaving business gonna happen. So be sure to come back for that. Come back and leave us comments. Do all that, thumbsy upsies and all those likies and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.
Bye.